Look at Dad.
The earth is like a fox on the run.
This is a message from the future to the people of the world, warning that humanity faces extinction this century as a result of global warming and climate change. Can You Save the Human Race is a master plan for the survival of humanity and an appeal for justice for the children. Global warming is out of control, threatening humanity with extinction. Burning fossil fuels is causing a chain reaction of environmental disasters. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere keeps rising all the time, and the Earth's temperatures are increasing alarmingly. The glaciers and the polar ice caps are melting, and the Antarctic ice shelves are breaking up and collapsing. Sea levels are rising, threatening hundreds of millions of people with becoming environmental refugees. Hurricanes are increasing in ferocity and intensity, contributing to the worldwide flooding, which will kill billions of people by the middle of the century, according to United Nations scientists. There is a state of emergency on the earth as the global crisis threatens an apocalyptic ecological cataclysm. The human race faces extinction, Professor Peter Barrett warned in November 2004. After 40 years, I'm part of a huge community of scientists who have become alarmed with our discovery that we know from our knowledge of the ancient past that if we continue our present growth path, we are facing extinction, not in millions of years or even millennia, but by the end of this century.
We're all here to stop expansion at Heathrow. And as you have gathered in the title of today's conference, we're going to be following what if the worst comes to the worst and the government gives the go-ahead for expansion at Heathrow. What sort of things should we be doing?
The conference today is organised by the Climate Camp, by HACAN and by NOTRAC, our local campaigning bodies. And it's last year we had a meeting in which we welcomed the Climate Camp to the constituency, and there was at that time, to be frank, there was some trepidation amongst the local community about what the Climate Camp would bring to the campaign, what would happen within the area. And we went through an extensive meeting like this and discussed the role of the Climate Camp, the role that HACAN is playing and NOTRAC and all the other campaigns. The Climate Camp took place, and I think it was one of the most successful events in our campaign against Heathrow expansion. That's why the pledge is so important. Because what we said, can you remember on other demonstrations, we used to shout when they come, the whole world is watching. Well, what we've got to say now is we want the whole world, not just to watch now, but to every person of concern, every person of goodwill, anyone who's concerned about human rights, the environment and all the rest, to sign the pledge now. It shouldn't just be left to my constituents in Sipson to say we're not moving, because that's the way of isolating them. That's what they want you to do. What we've got to say is across the world we invite people now to sign the pledge that we will occupy Sipson if they come for it. There's a tradition of occupation. And I think if between now and the decision that's made in November, we have thousands of people, not just in Sipson, not just in Hillingdon, not just in West London, not just in Britain, but across the world, saying we are not going to let this town, this village die, and if necessary, we will come to occupy to protect this village because it protects our planet, doesn't it? I think we're there. I just think we're on the edge of such a significant victory. And we kept saying that Battle of Heathrow is the iconic battleground for the battle against climate change. And I think it is. If we can win this one, it is a message of hope that will go out right the way across this country against those campaigning against aviation expansion, those campaigning against development of roads, those campaigning against power stations and other developments that will affect our planet. And it will go not just across Britain but across Europe and the world. That somewhere, in one place on this planet, people have the courage to stand up and fight and win. And that's what we're about, isn't it? Solidarity.
We're going to build a new future. We're going to build a new future. Yeah. Queue up caravan of love. You like it? Yeah.
Abby?
Yeah?
Are you going at the back?
Can do.
Well, yeah.
2008. Where are we going? We're going to the Climate Camp for Action, and it's going to take us a week. I'm going to read some words about why we're going on the Climate Caravan. The Climate Caravan, a quest for a future. People have always walked to change the world. From those that walked with Gandhi on the salt marches for independence, and those that marched together to stop the poll tax, to the women who journeyed to Greenham Common for peace. In times of crisis, we have always come together to move history with our feet. Climate change is probably history's greatest global crisis, and this summer hundreds of people will be taking part in an incredible 7-day journey across London in a quest for a livable future. From the malignant growth of Heathrow Airport, we'll walk and cycle eastwards, converging on the Camp for Climate Action at Kingsnorth Power Station in Kent. Here, the owners, E.ON, in collusion with the government, have disastrous plans to build the UK's first new coal-fired power station in 30 years. The caravan will be travelling in search of a brighter future, one where life comes before profit, a future where fossil fuel expansion is history, where the local, the renewable, the human can flourish. We'll hear the stories of people in the past who have dared to dream the impossible and make it happen. And we'll meet with people who are planting the seeds and planting the seeds right now for a future we can live in. It's time to move!
Stomp in with your feet. You ready, Corin?
Okay, can we let you
the government says so, but they forgot about the will of the people, and the people of Mayo saying no, 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 no. It's Charlotte's gotta go. Climate chaos, it's in your car. There's a bird dressed in black. There's a world nearly cracked. There is me, there is you. What the hell shall we do? Shell smells. Take it, folks. Shell cell suicide on the forecourt. Shell cell suicide. Shell cell suicide with such forethought. Shell cell suicide. Hello.
I don't want them to say we've got nothing for them to say really except design. Anyway, everyone fills up their vehicle, you know. There's footage of me filling up a PP and stuff. Cheers.
Side on this forecourt. Shell cell suicide. Shell cell suicide with such forethought. Shell cell suicide. All the ways we can gain off from a world without oil.
We're on a climate caravan. We're heading across London town. We started at Heathrow yesterday. We're heading to a coal-fired power station in Kent, and we're raising the issues about oil use and coal use and the climate going up in flames. And everyone is beautiful, but the cars ain't. So there you go. Everyone's doing a very good job.
Guitars allowed.
What does he's already got one.
Oh, you've got one ready. Have a different one.
He's the only man who's not ignoring us and doesn't, and is actually acknowledging that we exist. Anyway, it's nice to see you. You know how it is. One day you have a protest, and another 5 years go by, and then you have a
Thank you. Cheers.
Anyway, this isn't the protest. This is the future. Fossil fuels are running out. The oil's running out. Meanwhile, the people who are living on top of the oil are getting a really rough deal in Nigeria and Alaska and all over the world. You know. When they bring the oil up out of the ground, life is rough. You may know that already. And meanwhile, everyone's got to go to work. Take it easy. I hope you haven't been freaked out or upset by this visit. Take it easy.
Shell cell suicide on the forecourt. Shell cell suicide. Shell cell suicide with such forethought. Shell cell suicide.
Shell suicide?
I sang that before the shells last year. And then I sang them as the last verse, which goes like this.
When I know
It cannot all be gone. Let's get shot. That's it. We're going to move on to this one. Which I know is well, I'm going to be I'm on foot. Take it easy, man. Bye.
shell cell suicide on the football. You know that? They've gone without us.
Yeah, don't worry.
1649, St. George is here. Every family, all the girls came to serve the goodwill with a fire and laws, little white laws. They were the dispossessed, reclaiming Roma's theirs. We come in peace, they said, to the answer. We come to work land in common and to make West World rulers subdivided.
making the earth a common treasury for all, both rich and poor. That everyone that is born in the land may be fed by the earth's mother, the broad and broad, according to the reason that dwells in the creation. From a declaration from the poor oppressed people of England, also known as the Second Digger Manifesto, June the 1st, 1649.
From 1649 to 2008, we've been on the climate caravan these last couple of days. We started not too far from St George's Hill, up in Heathrow, where there isn't going to be a third runway and the people aren't going to lose their homes. We're heading on our way across this possibly blighted, possibly blessed carbon town to the Camp for Climate Action down in Kingsnorth in Kent. We're going to shut that one down. And then we're going to go forward because we're carrying the spirits of the men and women hundreds of years ago who have let their messages and their examples and their words travel down history to us tonight. And they're still with us. They're here tonight. And if you listen hard enough, you'll know and you'll hear. We can hear them. We think they're going to travel with us. They're going to hear the words we have to say. They're going to see what actions we're going to take to turn this damn thing round before it's too late. And we hope that we're going to see you down at the Camp for Climate Action too. Because that's one of the things that we need to do. You want to encourage you rich they care. This earth was made of common treasury for everyone to share. All things in common, all people one. It's time to finish what the diggers have begun. Because it's killing people. Particularly in Nigeria, where a lot of Shell gets a lot of its oil, the people there have had nothing from it, and they've had nothing but misery for decades. And in Nigeria, well, anywhere that they bring oil out of the ground, people get hurt. And now we know it's changing the climate, and millions of people are going to get hurt again. So that's why we're walking without using any oil or gas or oil or coal to try and raise those issues. Well, we need to change. Maybe we need to have less driving. Because life isn't that good, all this driving. It's not making us happy. Why do we need to drive? Because we drive to jobs that don't make us happy. That make things that make the world more we'll buy more rubbish. It doesn't make us happy. Well, I think we need to travel less. We need to take care of each other more and worry less about making a profit out of things. And we need to care about the planet more. We need to love the planet more than we do, because we don't seem to love it at the moment. So that's the message. Have a good day. I went to a Shell station yesterday, didn't have all of these, so life must be a bit more dangerous for you guys. You don't like having this? Well, I suppose it's safety, but you're a bit more separated from people. Have a good one. Shell station number 2. Very nice people working in these stuff, the Shell stations. Nice man. Well, we didn't manage to get the caravan stopped there. Never mind. Oh yes! Johnny, huh?
Walk over and then reconvene and get back out on the road and go left over after we've got over London Bridge, down Cannon Street, and it'll probably be about half an hour or so to the next destination, which if Mark wants to say what that is, then you know more about them than I do. You have more dealings with them than I do. It's basically
various activities. Goldman Sachs does all kinds of banking services to big corporations. It's also well known for having a recent protest where cleaning workers who work in the city work for crap money, and various people helped them out, and they went out and they occupied the front entrance of one of the Goldman Sachs offices, because Goldman Sachs runs a company that pays people less than the minimum wage to clean the offices of these enormous, ridiculous.
I'm going to hand you over now to our Goldman Sachs expert. Here he is.
He's given me such a big build-up, for Christ's sake. So, isn't it a disappointment when all us friendly folk, sometimes penguins, sometimes lollipop ladies, road blockers, cooks, carers, mothers, fathers, children, who have left Heathrow and we've marched all this way into the city of London, and we know and we feel in our hearts that the heart of this problem is based on these streets, which are patrolled by their own private police force. And here we are standing outside Goldman Sachs, and on one side we're saying we have a planet, and on the other side we say there is profit. And we believe that the people, at least I believe that the people who run this company believe that profit is somehow something that has a greater sanctity than the planet itself. They've lost a fundamental connection with what the hell it is we're doing on this planet, which is to take care of each other and care for the land, care for each other. Those are the priorities. So it was a real sadness that we weren't allowed to wander in there today and wander up to the chief executive's boardroom, put our feet up on the boardroom table, get out our sandwiches and maybe share a little connection. But what a sad and unsurprising thing it is that the doors are locked. And hello to the security guards from Goldman. We know you're just doing your thing. We ain't got a problem with you. That's all right. How are you? Nice to see you. Looking good there. If you want to tell us what the messages are that are coming in through your earpiece, feel free to come up to the mic. Anyway, the real reason we've chosen Goldman, because there's a whole host of places we can visit here. We can be on the streets 365 days a year, visiting offices and companies, and we still wouldn't get through the ones that are trashing our planet. The reason we're at Goldman Sachs is because Goldman Sachs helps provide the expertise and the financial acumen and knowledge that helps a company like E.ON to maneuver itself into a position where it's trying to raise money to buy out more and more energy utilities. If it thinks there's money in nuclear, it will buy some nuclear. If it thinks there's still some money in coal, is there money in coal? For Christ's sake, surely there's no money in coal, but they seem to think that there is. So it's not just the company E.ON that wants to build the power station. It's not just the government that is in the pockets of E.ON. The government is also in the pockets of Goldman Sachs. Tony Blair is now on the board of J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan's just bought up the climate offset to climate care. It's all part of an enormous web, a carbon web. And that's the web that we're here to point out and to unravel with our care, with our concern, with our joy about what the future could be, about what life could be right now. Because we've had so much concrete under our feet and we want to know what's underneath the concrete, something more alive. And we are still alive. And our message, I believe, to Goldman Sachs is that it's not too late to pull out of these kinds of projects. Actually, we need to dismantle companies like Goldman Sachs. It's time that we had a fundamentally new way of living our lives that wasn't based on profit and exploiting the bottom line of profit, profit and more profit. And it isn't good enough for Goldman Sachs and E.ON to come out with a corporate responsibility report costing hundreds of thousands of pounds, which is full of high-class glossy lies. And so it's very inspiring, I think, that we can also make the right decision that we need to make for the sake of our futures. Then we will go into these offices and we will remove the apparatus they have to destroy our planet. We will not allow this to happen. We will not hurt people, but we will not allow our planet to be hurt and ourselves to be hurt and our brothers and sisters to be hurt in other parts of the world. We will not stand by and let that happen. We will put ourselves in the way of that damage and that destruction and that exploitation. And that's why we're here. And that's probably enough of one person shouting into a microphone. Is there anybody else that would like...
European Parliament Party in the southeast of England.
Scores of people assembling to actually go out and march through to Kingsnorth to really kick off the week's activities. How fundamental today?
I think today is very important. It's the gathering point, although many other people will be coming and joining at different parts during the week. This is really the moment where we're saying this camp is going to happen. It is massively important. Really, I believe it's the most important movement that's happening in Britain today. Essentially, if the new coal-fired power station goes ahead, then not only will that give the green light to maybe 6 or 7 further coal-fired power stations here in Britain, it will also send a message to other countries around the world that it's perfectly fine to use coal, that there's no problem with it. If Britain, one of the richest countries in the world, is using coal, then why wouldn't anybody else? That is absolute climate madness. I think it's exactly the right place to be.
We've been promised a peace.
Hello, it's brilliant to see you here today. I think this is literally the most important place for people to be today. I think this movement is the most important movement in Britain today, so thank you for being here. And we're here with a message for a government, and our message, I think, is very clear, that we have just 100 months in which to effect a massive transition away from a fossil fuel economy. That the government's current addiction to fossil fuels is not only destroying the environment, it's destroying people's lives, it is killing people now. The plans to build new coal-fired power stations starting here in Kingsnorth are therefore nothing less than crimes against humanity. And that therefore we pledge ourselves to take every action necessary, both within the law and if necessary outside the law, to peacefully prevent our headlong descent into climate chaos. Today's demonstration is a wake-up call because this government is sleepwalking into catastrophe. Gordon Brown is a Prime Minister who says that climate change is the greatest threat that we face, and then he gives the go-ahead to a massive expansion of aviation, to a third new runway at Heathrow, and to a likely massive expansion of coal-fired power stations. He says that energy efficiency is important. Well, what did he do when fuel prices rose? Did he levy a windfall tax on the energy company profits? No, he did not. Did he have a massive investment in energy efficiency? No, he did not. He ran all the way to Saudi Arabia to persuade them to start producing more oil. We have a government that says that it's taking a lead on climate change, but when you add in our emissions from aviation and shipping and from imported products, emissions in this country are going up, not going down. A government which boasts of its climate change bill, and yet that bill has targets that are so utterly inadequate that far from guaranteeing that we keep below 2 degrees warming, they're far more likely to guarantee that we massively overshoot that target with devastating effects. And so our message today
is that if government is too cowardly to act, if government won't govern, then we will do it for them. We will act instead. Now you know the figures, that Kingsnorth will be the first new coal-fired power station in the UK for 30 years, that it would emit up to 8 million tonnes of CO2 into the atmosphere each year, the same as the 24 lowest emitting countries in the world, and that it would keep doing so for decades, locking us into a high carbon infrastructure. And that's why James Hansen, the chief scientist at NASA, has written to Gordon Brown calling for a ban on new coal, stating that the decision on Kingsnorth has the potential to influence the future of the planet. I say again, we have 100 months in which to avoid the tipping point of climate change. That means that this generation, our generation, us, have the greatest responsibility to act. That's why we're here, that's why we're pledging to do it. And that's why as well, we are pledging to resist police harassment. Right after this meeting, I'll be going to Gillingham Police Station for a meeting with the police to protest against the way in which they are confiscating things like crayons, they are confiscating disabled access ramps, they are confiscating radios which are for communication on the camp for safety. This is not the way forward, and we will be saying that if the police really care about public security and safety, then they need to be worrying about the massive environmental destruction driven by the profits of the corporations, not about a field of people learning about renewable energy and envisaging a better future. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all the many miles you've walked. I want to pay tribute in particular to my colleagues from Brighton, who've been particularly signifying the importance of incineration and linking incineration to climate change. All of us here are about building a better future, about envisaging that better future. It's an incredibly positive movement. It's the most important movement in this country today. So thank you for being here. We will make a difference.
Have a good day anyway! No more coal! No more coal! No more coal!
Laid it down, no new coal, no new dirty power stations. Fantastic, these guys, and hopefully they'll come and see us later in the week. Some of them are here, maybe they're here now, maybe they're a different game.
Let's make sure we're in good formation.
Here's milkshake, here's blue jeans, here's patty beef, here's cola wash, here's $10, here's tickets, here's college.
Is it a little game of pushing or something?
No, your fella's trying to get in behind us.
Enjoy that. How are you doing?
All right then.
You have a good sleep?
We're all right. Yeah, we were getting a little bit bored till they turned up 5 o'clock in the morning, tried to drive the way through here.
What do you think that's about?
Well, 5 o'clock in the morning, harassment, isn't it?
Can't drive off.
But yeah,
Can we get some more people down on this side?
That's violence towards a wheelie bin, that is. This is for you, for us, for your kids, for everyone's fucking kids. This isn't even an us and them.
Well, you surrounded me in wheelie bits.
No, this is the one issue.
I'm going to be on a early morning, you showed a wheelie bits.
Bigger picture. The only issue right now on this planet that actually includes everybody is global climate change, and that is why we're here, and that includes you as much as it does us.
Thank you.
And that's why you should take your jacket off and join in.
All the big developing countries all got together and said we've got to reduce global emissions for 2015. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do, but we're here to try and make it happen. So I want to know why you are trying to escalate the situation when we're just trying to do what we consider to be the right thing in a legal manner.
If you want to talk intimidation, we can talk intimidation all day. We'll talk to Caroline Lucas and we'll talk to Bob Marsh Landry's local MP. What we want is you off-site. There is no other negotiation, liaison or anything. Simple as that. Off-site.
Well, I guess I'm staying here for the time being then.
Then you will stay there for the time being. Thanks.
We do have the backup of local MPs though. We have full backing. Is he tired, did you say?
Do you not feel that it might be intimidating for us?
Pardon?
Yeah. You talk about us being intimidating. Do you not feel that coming at 5:30 in the morning and waking us up when we're all very cold is not a
You don't have to be here, do you? Wake you up.
Look, we're just here to try and use our democratic right to protest, and that we're having workshops, we're learning about climate change. What are you afraid of? What's the problem?
I'm afraid of nothing. I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. My office has been hurt myself by the wheelie bin shot.
Say that with a straight face. Our site is a matter of civil dispute, and until you receive an order from a civil court telling you to proceed, it's none of your business.
It is.
How is a civil dispute your business?
Because we want to make sure public safety is maintained. There are children on site.
How are you maintaining public safety by left-handed at 5:30 in the morning, hitting people on the head and smashing what car we picked into?
If you say no, I'm after the anyone.
But your colleagues
Don't be so silly. You're being silly.
We know what's going
That
on.
is a stupid comment. My office has not hit anyone, neither have I. You're being silly.
You're saying your colleagues
That is a really stupid thing to say. That's a really stupid thing to say.
We're going to lose the match!
So you've taken up legal observing that paper. I'm just doing it.
Anybody want a jam sandwich?
Leave the guy that scored this man.
Is it because you're a little bit scared? Some big initiative thing going on here.
Losing gas. Lots of riot teams. Stop running.
Do your kids know that you're the Cybermen? Do your kids know that you are the Cybermen?
People singing this like a riot, you don't need to be here. Go away. You're not
Don't get weary till
how it goes.
We've celebrated, we've mourned and we've resisted, and it's not a workshop, this is real.
Yeah.
This is the real thing. We've used our bodies and our voices and our spirits and our hearts and the presence of courage and solidarity from our friends, and we've held this space. We could be doing many more beautiful and useful things in this beautiful site, which I haven't had a chance to explore yet, but the fact that you arrived in this point means that you have forced us to reach into ourselves and make something very beautiful happen. So I thank you for that. Is everything all right?
A couple more lanterns, the first is that
no, I can't do it. I'll sit down. Oh, there might be a bit of acoustic, a bit of amplification.
Station, direct action, stations, that's what we need to stop the devastation. Build a new world in the ruins of the old, the war, it's going down, but we've got the hope, we've got the vision, we've got the heart, we've got the soul, and we say soul not cold, 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 cold power, we don't want the cold power, we don't want the cold power, we got the soul power, soul power,
We left Sipson Village, and you know Sipson Village, we got some good friends in Sipson Village. Last year we had our climate camp in Sipson Village. Do you know what that means? It means that's a village where they want to build a runway, right? Thousands of people. They want to evict them.
3 churches, 10,000 people.
That's right.
They're not NIMBYs, it's not their backyard, but it's their houses.
These are beautiful people that came to join us in our climate camp last year. Local people, ordinary people, not hippies.
All the kids came down, all the kids at the school came and joined us.
And anyway, last Saturday there was a conference. What will we do if they decide to go ahead with that runway? Because we've got to hold the line here at Kingsnorth, we've got to hold the line there at Sipson, but we're growing, so that's all right. Anyway, on the Sunday morning, we were the climate caravan. We set off from Sipson and we marched all the way through this crazy city, and it could be a blighted city. It's Carbon Town, it's the heart and soul of the oil and gas industry, but we walked through it righteously, smiling at people, giving out climate camp leaflets. We were told to get a job. We had a job. We were told to get a job on Sunday morning. I thought, for Christ's sake. What is it with you people? You want me to 7 days a week, 7.5 days a week of working? Anyway, it was a very beautiful and wondrous event, and we were like singing songs and bringing the vibe to the city, and we were like blocking the roads ourselves. We were singing, these bikes were made for blocking, these boots were made for walking, and these penguins were made for pecking. Yeah, there was a great waddling of penguins across London Bridge, blocked on the right in the middle of the heart of the city of London, blocked on its way back and forth. We were crazy and we were beautiful, and we're going to talk about it tonight. If any of us are still awake, we're not standing here, we'll do it here. You know, we got time. So we're going to do it.
Is that hot? Is it still hot?
A world that's free of bigotry, full of tolerance and love and harmony. The struggle never ends to be better men, but we're doing it together for a common end. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. I'm a one-match guy that's burning bright. I'm gonna take you to a place that's good and light, to a land where we can sing our song in front of everyone. To a world that's free of bigotry, full of tolerance and love and harmony. The struggle never ends to be better men, but we're doing it together for a common end. We're doing it together. Doing it together. I'm gonna take you to a place of good and light, a world where we can sing our song in front of everyone. To a land that's free of bigotry, full of tolerance, love and harmony. Struggle never ends to be better men, but we're doing it together for a common end. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. All right. We're doing it together. Prize on the prize, hold on. Dragonfly, boys and girls. I see the dragonflies flying high. They're making me feel like we can make it happen. And what rhymes with fly? I can't think of a nice rhyme.
We're carrying the sky.
But we're taking the sky. Yeah, let's leave the sky for the dragonflies instead. It ain't your chain of command. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. You gotta hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. I've been climbing. I wrote this verse about 3 years ago, and then 3 years later I went on a caravan. Very weird. Climb aboard the climate justice caravan. Low emission, high impact conversations are the plan. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. This August we're here climate camping at Kingsnorth. You might be surprised by what spring's for. And keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. The only thing we done was wrong, was waiting in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Keep it going up there. The only thing we done was right, was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. You gotta hold on. Courageously now becomes our makeshift. Who's got a megaphone? Somebody give her the megaphone.
Tells how the thorax is lifted away.
No man has a right to buy or sell the private game, but just a manner they took the land. Now everywhere was free.
You've been filming us all day doing nothing. I don't want to film us.
Hi everybody, I just want to make a
If the police just leave the site and let us get on with it, there won't be any problems.
And I hope on your police camera you got the worst incidents of violence from earlier this morning, which were perpetrated by you. Keep it calm, please. Come on. We didn't even hear what you said. You know what you want to do. He's going to come down very hard on any officers who use the pepper spray. Watching their despicable behaviour. The BBC are watching you use pepper spray on innocent people who don't do anything. Please back off. Some people have tried that. A little bit scared. There's no need. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop hitting people! Stop hitting peaceful people! Stop hitting...
Said he's famous! What's he doing? Hitting that person over the head? Just think about that. Is that really how you want to be famous?
Okay guys, we need to bring some people in over there! Stay back! Stay We have to get to be on the Back you go! Back you go! Back you go! Back you go! I'm going to walk through your cab. What are you trying to achieve? What are you achieving? What are you on here for?
Put your back nowhere like your colleague. Take a good example. These guys
Boys!
Quick look at it.
Hit me with a shield in the side of the head, eh?
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Go! Carry on moving the site. Go! Carry on moving peacefully. Go! Nobody wants to hurt you. Bye-bye.
We sang a song and it ends like this. You poor take courage, you rich take care. This earth was made a contractory for everyone to share all things in common, all people one. It's time to finish what the diggers had begun. We haven't got time for it, but we had a very long interlude where we read some of the statements from the manifesto of the diggers there, and we kind of connected that to the spirit of what we were doing, and then we went into the debates. Look, there's an oil tanker! Shut up! No! Get out of there!
like there's a world nearly cracked. There is me, there is you, what the hell shall we do? Shell cell suicide on the forecourt. Shell cell suicide. Shell cell suicide with such forethought. Oh my god. Shell cells wild lies. And we had a little interaction with the tanker driver. We said life's not good for the people of Mayo, and wherever you pull your oil up at the ground, it's not good. He went, well, life's a bitch. Someone else said, yeah, actually, well, the most important thing you can do, he said, well, did you get your pay rise, mate? A better way of interacting with the guy. And the police started filming us from Kent, and there was a massive traffic jam. We were having more fun than the guys and the families in their cars, and then we tootled off down the road. But yeah, we're gonna turn the world upside down. And then the beautiful interaction between the sound system and the live music. Martha and the Vandellas were waiting in the back, ready to sing Dancing in the Street. Or maybe not quite. So we sing another verse of Down the wheels of the caravan go round and round. Look at the polar bear doing his thing so funkily. Everybody on the bus, thanks for saying it's not about me. It's about us. It's about us. It's about us. It's about us. Oh yes, it's about us. 90 Medway, Eon weeks tonight.
Eon weeks tonight.
Today, because they know we're here to say Kingsnorth, no damn way.
Kingsnorth,
no damn way.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. For who knows when we'll meet again. It's love, kiss me, my dream. We're mine tonight. It's mine.
Oh no, there's no.
Well, you look like that.
The Lost Highway. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and alone. For a life of happy good home. When I pass by.
Hello, I think I'm the last person that's going to speak any words. I just wanted to say we are entirely beautiful. What we're standing next to is entirely a thing of the past. And one of the things that distinguishes what we do, apart from believing in the joy and the necessity of direct action, and it is true that there are many hundreds of individuals have made it into this piece of property today. And they are still continuing to do that. There are people continuing to make their way into this compound by any way they can. And these are laws that need to be resisted. Again and again and again. These laws are unjust. They just got to go, everybody. Come on, you know. It's a fine and amazing tradition we're part of. Just a quick thing. There are many people here worried about what's going to happen when the carbon economy goes down the tubes. Well, we're here. We need to talk to people whose jobs rely on these industries. We need to make friends with those people. And there are people down mines in Colombia and South Africa, and they don't need to be down there to put food on their tables. And one of the things we've been doing today is bringing some music to the march, and that's what we need to do with our movement, I think. Keep it joyous, keep it creative, yeah, keep it colourful, and when laws need to be broken, we break them. Coal power, not coal power. Coal power. power, not coal power. Soul power, not coal power. We ain't gonna burn it up. We're putting out the fossil fuel fires and keeping our soul fires burning. Something's turning. Soul power, not coal power. Soul power, not coal power. Soul power, not copter power. Soul power, not copter power. Cake power, not coal power. Cake power, not coal power. People power, not coal power. We're putting out the fossil fuel fires and keeping our soul fires burning. Soul fire, something's turning. People power, not police power. People power, not police power. Soul power, not coal power. Soul power, not coal power. Solar power, not coal power. Solar power, not coal power. Putting out the fossil fuel fires and keeping their soul fires burning. Our soul fires, something's burning. Fires burning. Keeping our soul fires burning, something is turning. We and the police helicopter's drone is a fossil fuel moan. A lion crying lost lament, they've lost the argument. Keep moving! Keep moving! Keep moving! Keep moving!
Got back quick, didn't you?
Look at Dad.
Wait,